In this video, we look at how to buy a house if you already own another one and what are the mortgage implications. That's coming right up.
Welcome to Home Buyers School, brought to you by Brookfield Residential.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Home Buyers School video, a channel where you get the latest strategies, tactics, and tips from home buying experts. And remember, if this is your first time on this channel and you want to get the latest strategies from the experts, hit the subscription button below, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. So today I'm joined by Mushtaba Sayed, Manager Mobile Mortgage Specialist with TD Canada Trust. And the question we're going to answer today is, can you buy a house when you already own one already?
Yeah, absolutely. But it really just depends on your scenario, what you're looking at doing. Now, if you're trying to buy a house and you want to sell your home, yes, you could definitely do that. You could go to your lender and you can speak to them and say, listen, I am actually have listed my property, or it's been listed, I have some pending offers. This house is not going to be sold. I do want to purchase a new one. A lender can actually factor that into your qualifications. They could take a look and say, okay, if we can get some kind of confirmation or proof that you have sold your house, or there's a pending offer on it, or you will sell your house prior to moving into your new house, we can actually use that to qualify. That could be just one scenario of it. Another scenario is if you decide that, hey, you've lived in this house and now you want to turn that into an investment property, or you want to turn it into a rental property, which a lot of people are doing these days. Can you still qualify for a mortgage? Absolutely you can. You could tell the lender and say, listen, I am actually planning on renting this mortgage out. I actually have a future lease in place. I have someone willing to rent this, and I actually want to buy a new house. A lender at that time can look at that scenario and say, listen, can we use the rents to offset the current obligation, the current mortgage? And would that be able to help you qualify for your mortgage? It definitely can. So there's definitely scenarios to take a look at. You don't have to sell your home and then buy a new home after. You can do it at the same time. Once again, you want to talk to the professionals and the specialists you're dealing with at that time, which would be your bank, your lender, your real estate agent. Everyone should be able to be on the same page, and they can give you the right advice at that time. But definitely, tons of options available. You don't have to wait, or you can have more than one house at a time.
What happens to your current mortgage from the current house? I don't think you can transfer that mortgage. Do you actually have to qualify for the new house?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes down to having your current house right now, all banks have portability built into their mortgages. So when we call portability, what that just means is that now we can actually take your mortgage and actually port it from one property to the other once you sell that property. Now, there's a benefit to portability. You can definitely look at doing that if you have a great rate, right? If you've gotten a rate at that time when your rates were very low, and you've got some great terms on that rate and you want to take that over, you can actually port that mortgage once you sell your home onto your new home, so you can keep that rate. Portability, there's also a lot of benefits for portability as well, because like I said, if you are in a fixed rate and you try to sell your home and you want to break that term, there's something called penalties. They're called exit penalties, payout penalties, and they could be kind of large. They could be depending on what they are at that time. So a portability option will also save you from paying out your penalties. So if you're going to sell your house and you want to be moving into your new house, talk to your lender about portability. Go to the lender you were dealing with previously, or your banker or your specialist, and advise to them and say, listen, do I have a portability option? Can I transfer my mortgage from one property to the other? And then work with them to see what they advise for you to do.
Let's say, when you're planning to buy a new house and you're planning to port your mortgage over, do you have to take that stress test or the pre-qualification again? Or
Absolutely.
You do? Or you
Absolutely.
Do? Okay.
Yeah, so even if you qualify for a mortgage for a first time, you're not a first time home buyer per se, anytime you get a mortgage, you do a lending. When it comes down to mortgages or secure lending, what we call it, you have to go through a stress test. It's because we want to see qualifications. Situations could have changed, and now everyone's subjected to that. So it wouldn't be fair for someone for a first-time home buyer to qualify on a stress test on someone who wasn't a first-time home buyer. So everyone is on even playing field. Everyone has to. You could be a first-time home buyer or a 10th-time home buyer. If you want to purchase a new home, you have to go through the stress test. What's available for everyone today.
Okay. Now, how about if let's say you inherit a home, right? And you already have a mortgage. Same thing, you still have to re-qualify for if you want to take that mortgage on?
Yeah, so those situations could be a little complicated. Mm-hmm. What I would do, every scenario is going to be different when it comes down to like inheritance or been given a house or a gifted house, etc. Those are things that you would want to talk to your specialist about for sure. There might be a stress test scenario, there might not be. These are just not normal situations, they're not normal scenarios, what we call out of the norm. Sit down with the lender, sit down with the specialist, and have the discussion with them to see how your certain scenario impacts you with the stress test or without the stress test, to see what happens.
Let's say you're using that second property or your current property and you're going to move into the second one as a investment property. Is it a good idea to actually carry two mortgages?
Once again, it really just depends on your financial situation and your financial obligation. If you have a if you want to turn one of your properties into a rental property or investment property, you want to see how comfortable you are. There's definitely pros and cons of having investments in real estate, like any other investment. There's some pros and cons to having a rental property. So you want to see if it kind of meets with your financial obligations. Maybe sit down with your financial planner. Maybe sit down with someone that can advise you on that path to see if it makes sense for you. There's significant risk for having a rental property or taking on renters that you could take on as well. That risk could be extra risk for you if someone's damaging your property or they haven't paid their rent on time, because that rent or that mortgage payment is still an obligation on you. So even if someone else doesn't pay on your behalf, you still have to pay, right? That is a current obligation for yourself. So definitely have that conversation with a financial planner, with someone that you feel like can actually give you the proper advice on having that, and then decide for yourself. I feel like having options is great, and always having real estate investments is also a good option as well, but it might not be recommended for yourself.
Perfect. My question for you is, have you owned another home and tried to apply for a mortgage? Have you been accepted or declined? Let us know why or why not in the comment section below. So Mo, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that's pretty much it. So definitely go in. Every scenario is going to be different. Your scenario is going to be different. Have the conversation with your lender, have the conversation with your specialist, and work out the best case scenario for yourself.
Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
That's another edition of Homebuyer School. Tune in next time for more expert tips and tricks. And visit homebuyersschool.ca to bring you one step closer to finding your dream home. As with everything, it would be great if you like and share our videos. Also, please let us know if you have any home buying questions you want us to answer.